Page 7, Sonatina in G major. Actually, it's a theme from it. A theme is a melody. So this is a melody from that sonatina, because the sonatina has other melodies in it too. A very famous melody. In this lesson, they're introducing you to a type of ornament called a grace note. And this opens a whole can of worms. Look out. People don't agree on much of anything in music. Even the experts. They're supposed to know. Never have, probably never will. There are a lot of different types of ornaments, and people certainly don't agree on how they should be played or how they should be used. Look at measure 1, the first measure. In the upper staff, you see before the eighth notes, there's a little bitty eighth note with a line through it. That's a grace note. People will say you play that note right before the beat. So it's a 1 and 2 and 2. The A would come on beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Other people, like me, what I learned in college, what I had to do in college was play them on the beat. Don't steal part of the time from the previous note if you can help it. Let the half note have its full 2 counts. It deserves it. The eighth, put it on there. So this would, the grace note would come on beat 3. 1 and 2 and. It's just 3 up. It's not done rhythmically. It's just real quick. In fact, there's a way of playing some grace notes where you just you chunk them. You play it at the same time and then let up on the grace note. Like that. 1 and 2 and. That's out of style for this piece. We don't do that here. It's just a real quick note, not rhythmic. Don't play it out. Not along. That's a different ornament. That's something else. This real quick. 1 and 2 and. So I'm going to play the grace note with the left hand here. Other people, most people, would play the eighth note like that. 2. I don't. I play it on the beat, especially with Beethoven. 2. It goes by so quick you can't really hardly tell. But nevertheless, I am attempting to play all these grace notes on the beat. You can play them before the beat or however your teacher tells you to. That's fine. I don't care. As I said, people don't agree. Now, as part of the routine of learning a piece of music, I do the ornaments, the grace notes and stuff, when I do the articulation. When I'm first figuring it out, I leave the ornaments out. I leave it out. So let's see what we get. I look it over. It's about 4 lines long. Treble and bass clef signs again. We have 1 sharp in the key signature now, so we're in the key of G major. So make sure you're doing the scale for G major, and go ahead and do the minor scale also, and that is E minor. That is 1 sharp. Just 1 octave up and down. Again, the trill exercise. Make sure you're doing those. And common time or 4/4 time. So let's take 1 hand at a time so we can figure out what's going on here. The right hand is here to start. And again, I'm going to leave out the grace note. So it's 1 and 2 and. And then reach up here. Don't move if you can. Reach up. And then you can go 2, 3. See, this is changing on repeated notes. We've done this before. We're just taking advantage of all those repeated notes. Reach up and 2 and. Reach down and 2 and. Okay? Once I have the right hand under control, more or less, then I'll think about the left hand. It's 2 and 4. I want to connect these. 1, 2, 2, 1. And then come down. 2, 2. I'd like to connect them. You can't really. You can connect the top note if you want. That's hard. Anyway. Second line, second measure, eighth notes. Then up here, reach up. It's an F natural now because there's an F sharp in the key signature. Yeah. And you should know that's an F. It's above the second ledger line up. You just need to memorize that. It's an F. Next measure, it's an E. Reach down, thumb, and going on. Okay. Put the hands together. So what's this about? You hear 1 and 2, and then here. Reach up. And here. As you're playing this, you get the left hand down. 2 and. The left hand comes back up. Anyway, you put the hands together. I already did. Then go back over it slowly and carefully and get rid of the hesitations. No hesitations. Here, unless you have to move around quite a bit, you shouldn't need to look at the keyboard. For these little things, you want to get to where you don't have to look at the keyboard for those. When you have to reach up an octave, you want to, again, get to where you can feel that. You don't have to look at it. And once I have that, I'll think about the articulation and the ornaments here. We're going to connect this. Connect it. Two-note slurs, down, up, down, up, down, up. Just be careful not to make the second note in a two-note slur staccato. Here. If they want staccato, they'll put it in. Otherwise, give it. Here. So it's pretty connected. You're just lifting up according, like in the second line. First one. Here, lift up. Just a little, like taking a breath. You're cutting the quarter note just a little bit short so you can lift up. Now here, in the second line at the last measure, I would connect all this. Here to this. I would connect all that together. I disagree with separate slur. Although that's interpretation, if you feel it there, try both ways and see. Third line, last measure, you get legato. That's down here. Connect this, but this has staccato. Now these ornaments, again, I'm going to play them on the beat. You can play them before the beat if you want. It's a personal thing. I can't say one way's right or wrong, although some teachers would. It's, oh no, that's not right. You have to do it this way. Go away. It's got to the point where it's up to the performer. How do you choose to interpret this? Now, once I have the articulation and the grace notes under control, more or less, then I'll think about the dynamics. P at the beginning is piano for soft. That's the melody. The left hand has to be very soft in the background. Then in the third line, last measure, you have an MF for mezzo forte. For the right hand. And then the last line, you go back to soft. Yeah. Speed. You decide it's not fast or slow, it's in the middle. The beat will be a certain beat, but the eighth notes will want to slow it down. Yeah. I'm thinking most arrangements of this, they would actually end it loud at the last. This ends it softly. I don't know if that's an error or not. In my opinion, you could play the last little bit there loud if you wanted. And Beethoven a lot of times would like to end his music with a bang, and okay. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do louds and softs. We're just doing notes and rhythms. Because we're not performing it, we're just checking notes and rhythms. I'll give us 4 quarter note counts to come in. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And 1 and 2 and. and rest. Rest.